Hello Stampin' friends. Today I will be showing you a card that I've made using the Flowering Cactus set from the January to June 2021 mini catalog. Let me kind of show you that bundle in the catalog here. This bundle, when you're getting the whole bundle, has the stamp set, Flowering Cactus, the various dies, some cute little felt flowers, and all of these wonderful designer series paper, plus some twine. Let me show you some of that up closer. First of all, we have the Flowering Cactus stamp set here. Cute sayings, nice images, really love it. Now this is the dies that you can also purchase with it. These dies all match, of course, the images in the stamp set, plus something additionally. Let's look at the designer series paper that goes with this stamp medley. First of all, this is 48 sheets of 6x6 designer series paper. There's 8 each of 6 designs. The colors are Calypso Coral, Highland Heather, Mint Macaron, Mossy Meadow, and Pear Pizzazz. The neat thing about this is that our dies match the images in this stamp set. So you can cut out these images from the designer series paper. Cute stuff. That also matches the little flowers. I don't know if I can get this on there so that they match correctly. And these little tiny ones here. So you get to use your designer series paper in a whole new way, which is wonderful. Stampin' Up! Is going to be doing a lot more of that, especially in the new catalog coming out here in the next month. Look forward to seeing that. Their designer series papers are going to be great for that. But let's take a look now a little bit more at the designer series paper. We have this one, of course, Calypso Coral with the pretty little flowers on it, cactus flowers. Another green with a kind of, I don't know what it is in there, some type of little image. This one, which of course uses all 3 colors of the greens plus the Calypso Coral and the Highland Heather. Then we have this, another green, the Highland Heather, once again with the pretty flowers. And of course you got to have saguaros, all of the 3 greens in there, Mint Macaron, Pear Pizzazz, and Mossy Meadow. Once again, some more cacti. The best thing about this paper is you can use it with other images, because I love this, with this background for a card. And here we go again, once again, some of the flowering. Some more green, and another green. Great designer series paper. The other thing that was in the bundle are these felt flowers. Let me show you these. These are little stitched felt flowers. This is what came out of just one, the purple and the green. You get them in like this, and you just punch them out. And they are stitched, so it gives it an extra little dimension there. And of course, we also have the twine, the Calypso Coral, and I believe that might be Sahara Sand, which we'll be using some of those today. Like I've told you in the past, I'm not very good about creating cards. If you give me a sample or a template, I'm pretty good. But otherwise, if I start with just this, that's what I'm doing. I'm staring at it for hours. So, a long time ago, I found this on a sale rack somewhere, and it has gobs and gobs of templates. But once again, if I start looking just through these templates, I'm overwhelmed. So I told the computer, pick a page for me. This is the page it picked. And I thought, I can work with this. So this is the template that I used for the card we'll be making today. And this is the card we're making today. Cute. All right, let's get started. First things first, I've got a Highland Heather card base. This is the designer series paper that was cut by 4, 5 1/4. Okay, we are going to take our Calypso Coral, twine, and I'm going to wrap this around the designer series paper, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. Let me just put some sticky there just to get it started. And I am not perfect on this. I just kind of wrap it around till I think it looks good. So we're going to start with one, and about that far down the card, maybe about an inch down the card. Oh, let's do at least one more here. There we go. That looks pretty good. I'm going to take and just give it a push there just to hold it. Stamp up again. Then I take my wonderful Scotch tape. Can't live without Scotch tape. And right there. I'm going to tape that down good so I know that it stays in place. Okay. That looks pretty good. Right. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to my card base. Use your favorite adhesive. See if I can get this on here fairly straight. Yeah, not bad. Okay, I'm going to set this to the side for a little bit. Our next step is going to be to take a piece of Pear Pizzazz cardstock, and I'm going to cut it at 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, which I've already done. Now I'm also going to take our other little Flowering Cactus here, and I don't know if you can tell on my video how this has the nice indentations and stuff from that die that is in that stamp set. And I'm going to create my little cactus here. So what I will do is take my little image here, and I'm going to stamp it in Pear Pizzazz, even though the cardstock that I'm using for the cactus is the Mossy Meadow, because I just felt like when I used the darker image, here's the lighter image, it just came out too dark and took away from the rest of the cactus. So instead, I just have a scrap of Mossy Meadow cardstock. I'm going to ink that up pretty good, and I'm going to give it a good push. Now, I use our Stampin' Pierce mat whenever I'm using a photopolymer because I think it gives me a better image. So I'll run that through the Big Shot or my die cutting machine here a little bit later, because with the magic of video, I already have some of these already cut. So, and I've added a little felt flower for this one. We're going to start putting these together here. I'm going to use some mini glue dots to get these going. Let's start with this little guy here with the flower guy. I'm going to put a mini glue dot on there. Take it off with a little pierce thing. Okay. And I'm going to put him about, let's see, he's going to go about right there, I think. Now I've got another one already done also. I'm going to put him on the other side and underneath. Be a little bit different. About right like that. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and add him to my Pear Pizzazz. I think I'll just be using some dimensionals for this so that I can make sure I get those other like arms of my cactus to stay down well. I want to make sure I don't lose those somewhere. And now for the main body, let's put a few more on there. Put one up here. And another one down here at the bottom. Maybe one more in the middle, just to make me happy. Okay. And I'm going to place him about right here on my card. Maybe move him up just a little. That looks pretty good. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make this guy right here, and we're going to use a technique on this. We used to call it rock and roll. I don't know what they call it anymore, but we're going to try it here. We're going to take our stamp set here, or rather our stamp, and I'm going to ink it up in the Pear Pizzazz. Now, as always, I always do a test on some scratch paper. Make sure that I get a good image. Pretty good. Got to watch that one area there. I'm going to try it again. Make sure probably need to ink up my stamp pad a little bit. Oh, that looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to try this again. And I'm going to try again, ink them up good. Now I'm going to do this, what we used to call the rock and roll technique. I don't know what they call it anymore. Normally, I would be using the Mossy Meadow ink pad, but for some reason, I can't find it. So we're going to use my old retired Always Artichoke ink pad. Make sure that's inked up pretty good. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to barely rub it around the edges to give a little bit more of a depth to that stamp. And every time you do this, it's always going to look a little bit different. So that's what makes it fun. And I don't know that you'll be able to see it because even I can barely see it on the stamp set, but I think we've got some extra ink on there somewhere now. And find my card here. Let's hope we get a good image. Hope I didn't mess too much up. I'm going to push it down pretty good. I usually count to 3, give it time to soak into my paper. Oh yeah, turned out great. So here we go, and you can see the little bit of darker design than I've put along this side. Right. Okay, I'll cut that out later, but for right now, due of course once again to the magic of video, I already have one done, and I've added one of the little stitch flowers. So let's put this guy down first. It's all set, ready to go. About right even with the twine that I've put on there. Looks pretty good. Now, use some more adhesive on him. And he's going to go, kind of see where I put him there. I think I'll do about the same with this guy. Maybe move him up just a little. There we go. Now, I have already taken and die cut from our designer series paper my other little cactus, and I've added one of the flowers. So I've got Stampin' Dimensionals already on him, or her, as the case may be. Depends on how you like your cactus, male or female. There we go. Push him down there. Okay. Now, the next thing that I would do is I would take and make a bow, because as you know, I'm terrible with bows. So a while ago, a friend of mine, husband, created one of these bow makers for me, and this has been a lifesaver for me. So a shout out to Mary Jo and her husband, because I have used that almost every other day in my stamping. The other thing we're going to do is I'm going to stamp a little note, and I used our old word window punch to punch it out. And this image came from another set in our catalog called Enjoy the Moment. And I wanted it for just a little note. So I've already put dimensionals on it. I'll put it about right here. Let's see if I can get it in there good. Move these out of the way before I end up with ink everywhere. And then I'm going to take my pre-made bow, put another mini glue dot on there. And I'm going to add it right about right here on my card. Trim off some of the excess. Don't need all that on there. And there we have our card. Love it. Now, of course, you know, I always have to do a little something on the inside. So when you cut your designer series paper, you're going to end up with another about 2-inch strip and a smaller strip too. So I just took this, added it to my Whisper White or Basic White cardstock that's cut again at 4 by 5 1/4. Took these and used my die and took it right off of the designer series paper to add a little something. And then I'm ready to go ahead and stamp my sentiment in there or write a note, whichever I decide. So I want to thank you. I hope you enjoyed this little video using the Flowering Cactus stamp set. If you'd like to get hold of me, you can always find me at my website at trenabrower.stampinup.net, trenabrower@gmail.com. Trena's Thinking Inkin on my Facebook page, and then of course my blog, Trenna Brower, wordpress.com. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and it's been fun creating this card. Thanks. Bye-bye.